Hey over there, Joe Lunchbox.
Enjoy Nightingale.
And today we have landed right here in Pittsburg, Pennsylvania to go to an attraction I've wanted to go to for 10 years. It's a spot called Trundle Manor. You might be wondering, what is Trundle Manor? Well, they describe themselves as the most unusual tourist trap in the world meets the most bizarre private collection on public display. Now you see, 10 years ago I was on tour with a sideshow called the Squidling Brothers Circus Sideshow, and we were in Chicago staying on the floor of a man named Joseph Vortex's house. And while there was a flyer on his refrigerator for a spot called Trundle Manor. And I was like, Joe, what is this spot? And he goes, oh, this is the spot for you.
It's like, you'll love it.
Your brain, as if you're walking around your brain. So we finally made our way to Trundle Manor. I'm so excited. I know it's a personal collection. To go here, we had to make reservations because it is someone's private home. And we're about to go take a tour. And I cannot wait. Hopefully you like seeing weird and bizarre, because that's what you're going to get, tons of that in this video. If you do, you should like this video, subscribe to our channel, because this is what we search this country, this world for. And just leave a comment down below. Alright, step right up, let's go for this ride. After we step right up these stairs, walking up, we have some skeletons on caskets, coin-op rides. Warning, alligator may be present. I'm a little nervous, but here goes nothing. Tours by appointment only. You're not the only one that needs an invitation to come in. Mwah.
So I'm Velda, my husband is Mr. Arm, and this has been our collection our whole lives. So he started collecting when he was a very small child, having two artist parents that encourage his behavior quite a bit. It's been able to grow over the past several million years. This case here has got most of our horrific medical equipment. Everything from embalming tools to old-timey syringes, anal speculums, trepanation devices that drill holes into your skull, bloodletting instruments, and a whole platter of speculums and gynecological tools that came in a box that had "Sorry Ladies" written on it, so kind of had to buy that one. Now, all of our taxidermy is real. We never hunt or kill anything ourselves, so most of it's very vintage. Occasionally we'll get roadkill or particularly nice-looking friends' pets if they say we can use them, which is the case with our werewolf mermaid here, which is one of our own creations. The top half was our friend's Rottweiler that died of natural causes and was brought to us. The bottom half is a carp. He's got fins from an old mahi-mahi and glass eyes from a blind person. He's also got two little buddies, which we call the fighting catfish, that are half cat, half fish, all fighting.
The squirrel's decoration.
That was a wedding gift. One of the chonkiest squirrels I ever did see. But dressing them is my favorite part. So, you know, obviously people love bad taxidermy, but they really do have so much more personality. We're always looking for the sad, lumpy, drunk-looking ones, and dressing them up is my favorite. Most of our bears end up in top hats after they die, usually smoking a pipe. They're all gentlemen.
This boar looks quite dapper with his hat.
Yes, he needs a long cigarette holder. It's going to be our Hunter S. Thompson boar. And the one on that wall will be our Tom Waits boar. He actually has a speaker in the horn in his mouth, which was part of our traveling show. My husband always did this sort of carnival barker, outside talker thing, and when he forgot his words, it was already pre-recorded playing out of the boar's mouth.
I see you got a princess on your hand.
She's our oldest piece of taxidermy, the Princess Fox from the 1890s. Wow. There's also a Lego playset of our house in that corner, which was our first project in quarantine. We said we were thrilled to be paid to stay at home. Well, years ago, we did a Lego version of our truck, Trixie. We have a 1952 Dodge pickup that my husband has redesigned several times. This is her current incarnation with a cow catcher grill and flamethrowers, which we'll see her outside. It's very accurate. And then our parlor again, and then us in various personas.
I was going to say, I love the wall.
Yeah, you'll see how accurate that is, too. Well, my husband used to work on model train set miniatures, so he sculpted all of those. The ones you see are the plasticized version from the factory, but he sculpted a Bigfoot. There's a guy mooning the Queen of England. There's us making out. There's zombies, clowns,
oh my God,
hillbillies. Of course, we need the Gomez Adams blowing up trains room, which I guess we need more room.
Of course.
I understand that.
But we did get to meet John Aston himself. He's still alive. He's like 92. And he's well. He's an acting teacher down in Baltimore. So we went down there about 9 or so years ago and lied and said that we were acting students and had a very important meeting with them, which they believed. So in the corner of the frame is my husband and giving him a big old hug. He got to meet his hero. And we'd shown him pictures of our house. We said, look what you helped inspire. And he was very humbled by that. He thought that was really sweet.
That's awesome.
In fact, the Boy Scout manual up there is a prop from the second ever episode of the 60s show where Pugsley wanted to be a Boy Scout. And they were horrified by that, but they let him do his thing because they were so supportive. This was a very fortunate eBay find, so it is the one that they filmed with.
That's awesome.
I know. Now, people do bring us things too as donations. So the tiger, I think, is the most priceless item a tourist ever brought. It is a baby Sumatran tiger skin rug from Indonesia. It was from a guy whose father grew up there, and it was shot in the 50s, and it has all the provenance and all that stuff. But they were afraid that the tiger was going to eat the kids, I think was the reason they had it shot. Which I don't feel like it posed that much of a threat, being a baby itself.
Yeah.
But his family kept it for ages. He said, we have to clean up my mom's house and everything is probably going to go to the dump, and I hate to see him. Can we just give him to you? We're like, yes, of course you can. So now we love him and tell him that he's gorgeous. Exactly.
That was like one of the most random things at my growing up in my friend's apartment. Her parents were just totally like, you know, square type of people, whatever. And then you would go into like their living room and it's like a zebra rug. And I'm like, hello?
Yeah. Were they hunters or were they just like into...
It just got handed down and it just like, it went from like one of the families that went on a safari type of thing.
Okay.
Like years
and it just
years
gets
ago,
passed
and
on
it just gets
family.
and I was like, well, yeah, hi.
Hi there, at least it's not in the dumpster. Well, also in the case underneath the tiger is my wedding dress that I made. So Mr. Arm and I got married 6 years ago at the library that's down the street from us that was built in the 1890s for the last remaining steel mill that's still in Pittsburg. And there's a music hall attached. So we had basically a music festival, all-day wedding, 12 different bands, 5 belly dancers, a gourmet waffle buffet, open bar all day and all night. And our beloved kitty cat little devil was our ring bearer. We actually built a little circus cage so he could be escorted down the aisle and hang out with us. He was very vocal.
I love the dress though.
Thank you.
How long did it take you to...
So it started as a black prom dress with pink rhinestones. I just kind of embellished what was already there. But, you know, a couple of weeks.
I love your little frog there.
Yeah.
Our sad alcoholic businessman frog. He needs a baby Jack Daniels in his hand so badly.
You have the one that's passed out drunk.
Yeah, with the Coronas.
Yes. So this used to be our coat closet, and we built a secret special door for our cat's litter box, but he ended up weighing about 28 pounds at his heaviest. He was a large boy, and he stopped fitting through his door. But that's his little battle vest down there that hardly fit him.
Oh my.
Meant for a human toddler. But this is our entryway with our human reliquaries altar with plenty of human bits and pieces. My husband's first mustache in case his face melts off. We can bandage him and just glue the old one on. This is most of a human brain and one of our very favorite wedding gifts from our tattoo artist friend. He was traded this as payment for the tattoo, and we're hoping it was from someone who worked at a morgue and not just like a straight up murderer. We didn't ask him. We do know that it was thrown at him in the tattoo shop by his ex. They were having a little argument, and the original jar shattered, and bits of brain kind of fell all over the floor as the fluid leaked out. So it's not a nice specimen any longer.
Is that how she became the ex?
I had to have been part of it. I know he got her pregnant. I don't know the full story, but that would be a deal breaker for me. And in the center is one of our grandest pieces in the entire collection. We've got Olivia's singing. She wants to sing for me. Oh no, you're filming now. She doesn't want to.
She's a little camera shy.
She's a little camera shy. Olivia's singing tumor. Our friend Olivia is a local belly dancer, one of the ones from our wedding, and she had a tumor on her uterus about 15 years ago. So we say it's from the belly of a belly dancer. And of course, hospitals don't like to let you keep stuff.
Yeah.
So she was very persistent. She kept telling them, if I can't bring it home in a jar, I'm just going to leave it inside me and deal with the consequences. Yeah. They're like, well, we have to roof it legally. So whatever, they reached some kind of a deal, I guess. And she was able to give it to us as long as we promised her we'd build something beautiful to display it in. So Mr. Arm built this from oak and brass, and it sings but at once. It's Mummy. It's her chorus, which we thought was very uterine appropriate.
Oh, yeah.
It was luckily just a benign fibroid, so our friend is well and healthy and likes to visit with it.
Good.
So is our friend here singing circus contraption?
Yes! No one has ever known what she's singing. They always ask me. Good call. Yeah, we adore those guys.
Very cool.
Well, this guy used to be an animatronic Santa Claus until we ripped his face off to transform him into a little version of my husband. We also recorded over his talk box, so instead of jingle bells, he'd talk about our stuff. And during one of our events, he got rained on outside, and he started jingle bells again, unprompted and not able to be forced to do it in a super demonic voice. So he's unplugged now. He's a special little guy. Let's do our parlor next. This is our largest room. This is the first room in our house that we started decorating. And the centerpiece is very much the 6-foot-tall portrait of our beloved cat, Little Devil. He's our boy, and he lived to be 13 years old. So we always said because he's the baby, he has to be preserved in the collection one day. He's in a special glass box next to our couch. We had him freeze-dried by a professional. And I like the freeze-dry process better for pets because they leave all of the organs and tissues in there, so he's completely whole. His hat we bought for him in London on our honeymoon, and it's from Lock & Company, where the Queen of England and the royal family have had their hats custom made for like 300 plus years.
Hey.
And plenty of fun friends for him to hang out with in this corner. Of course, we have a couple more Fiji mermaids. We've got our devil mermaid and bunny mermaid, which were our first experimentations in mermification.
Very cool.
In front of the bunny mermaid is her friend, the nudie cutie we call her, because I don't know why a taxidermist decided to make a baby girl look super sexy. We've also got some mummified cats. One of them came from under our neighbor's porch, and he thought it'd be really funny for his wife's birthday, and she didn't enjoy that. So now it's our kitty baby. And the big thing up in the corner with the wooden leg and the ribs exposed is my husband's dog that he made when he was 15. His parents said he couldn't have a dog, so he made one out of deer bones, rabbit skin, the head from an alligator garfish, and he would drag it down the road on a leash because he was the sweetest little weirdo with very supportive parents. He felt very akin to the Addams Family, you can see why.
Was it on board with wheels?
Yeah, he used to have wheels.
Okay.
And
That's
he was
awesome.
a little greaser, so he had his little leather jacket, this thing on a leash.
Were you into collecting before you met Mr. Arm?
I was. My parents just didn't want any of the stuff in their house, so
Understand.
I was super into it. Just didn't have access to too much of it. I grew up in the suburbs. But our biggest friend is Pierre the moose. There, he barely fit through our front door. We actually had to saw one of his antlers off. But in the original Addams show, they had a moose with antlers in 2 different directions. It would change position all the time, so we figured that was our reason to have him doing that. And the throne beneath him is an ongoing project between Mr. Arm and a friend of ours. So they've been sculpting pieces. It's based on Cthulhu and Lovecraft. And eventually the whole thing will have that wood-carved look, but they are making castings from the original sculpt so they can, mass produce them in pieces.
That's awesome.
Don't worry, it's a trap.
Yeah, it literally is. My husband always went to the flea market with his parents, and he wanted a bear trap for so long, and they were not going to buy a bear trap for an 8-year-old. So as an adult, he was thrilled to find an affordable one. Well, my other favorite thing in the whole collection are the 2 little squirrels getting married, and they're part of our love story. So I was aware of the house before I met Mr. Arm, and I kind of got myself invited over. So the first night we ever hung out, he said, "I've got a freezer full of dead squirrels. Do you want to learn taxidermy in the basement with me?" And I said, "Of course I do."
Yeah.
So that was our first date.
Awesome.
I made them bride and groom outfits, and when he proposed to me outside the gates of our local cemetery, the groom squirrel had my ring on his little paw, so they helped propose. We said it was love at first slice. Now we do have that big box in the corner we literally call the big machine, and it sort of opens up to reveal our little hookah setup area and a little jewelry workshop, so if we're ever doing a project, we can still be social as we're, creating, because we kind of never stop creating stuff.
Very cool.
There's also that big mallet up there from the circus, but behind it there's a box. It's the American Cyanamid Company, and the address is 30 Rockefeller Plaza. So at some point where 30 Rock is, they were making dynamite at one point.
So-
Would you guys like to see a secret passageway?
Sure.
Let's back up this way.
You don't get to see this.
This is our for real kitchen, and we thought how absolutely ordinary to have to hide dirty pots and pans from our friends. So we've hidden all of our appliances as best we can. This is our real fridge with a secret door for the ice maker. And on top, Mr. R made himself a cigar lighting machine. You stick the tip of your cigar in there, it will light it for you.
Nice.
We got a little tarantula in here. She's a plastic spider that she's totally covered up in her own webs. We can't even see where it's at anymore, but we call them Hebe and GB because she's a plastic boyfriend. We need the pun names. And we do actually cook here, so this is the cooking machine.
Oh.
It's our stove with an air fryer. So
I love it.
Thank you so much. And above it we've said is baby jail for people that bring their unruly toddlers. And most people understand that this is kind of not adults only, but not for screaming little brats. So we say they have to stay in there if they're ever bad. At some point we had a ceiling fan in our kitchen, but if you marry someone who likes to build death rays, you ought to let them do it. And that points directly at the back door in case of zombies or nosy neighbors yelling at us or Mormons, none of which have been a problem. And there's also Perkins, our robot butler. So all of his pieces come off of different machines. My husband built him in the basement. His mustache is 2 drawer handles and resembles Mr. Arm's own mustache. His head is from a 1950s vacuum cleaner. His mouth is an old carburetor.
I like his little friend.
His little friend's eyes are 2 totally different sizes. He's very, very special indeed. I love the little skulls on your shoes, by the way. This is great.
Thank you.
This is Trixie that our Lego was based off of. And this really was my husband's very first car when he was 17. He bought a 1952 Dodge pickup truck for $700 and a case of beer. It was part of the deal. So her original hood and front end are up here. And this is Trixie's 3rd version. His dad helps him rebuild. So they welded together a cow catcher grill on the front end to push the zombies under the wheels, you know.
I like the crown.
Yes, because she's the queen, of course. There are 2 stack pipes also with crowns, and they do shoot flames in the air. The steering wheel is a big chain welded together. And in order to make it start, he's got a series of switches and buttons. And if you don't do them in the right order, nothing happens.
Oh, like inside the door.
Yeah, the hammered metal though.
Yeah.
His mom did that. So they're pressed or hammered brass pieces of the doors. I did the ceiling to look like a circus tent.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even know.
Beautiful.
And his dad does all the pinstriping and paint. So the whole family does it together. It's honestly very, very wholesome and sweet. Now the other car next to you guys is the purple tentacle, we call it. The 1931 Ford. So the body's over 90 years old. Him and his dad rebuilt that one after Trixie. There's a 58 Cadillac engine, 59 Cadillac taillights, suicide doors that open backwards into traffic, and the roof slides back, so that's a convertible also.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
There's also a little post-apocalyptic dirt bike we built last year. Because our hill is so steep, we really can't bring it out very much. We gotta kind of take it off site. But there is a rubber ducky sidecar that's one of those little playground ceramic ducks that kids sit on. That's where I sit. We have some gift shop stuff if you're so inclined. We make everything in-house. We have a machine to make patches. We make our own fridge magnets, pins. We have octopus tentacle necklaces, coffin pillows, little coffin-shaped cake boxes. That's our wedding invite we had made into a poster.
I just love houses like this where everywhere there's something new to see.
Oh my god, me too.
So there you have it, Trundle Manor. It is exactly what I thought it was going to be. Even better though, I loved it. And I'm always honored with attractions like this because it is a tourist trap, like they said. The world's greatest tourist trap of a bizarre collection. But this is someone's private residence. And for them to open up their hearts and home for us, to take tours and see their collection means so much to me. I loved this more than I could put words into. And I am glad that, like every good tourist attraction, we exited through a gift shop where we got tie, we got patches, we got a corn dog coffin-shaped pillow. I am so happy. This place was awesome. Joy, you're in shadow, but tell me this place was awesome.
I could not express how amazing this was. Like, it's from stuff that they made, from stuff that the friends gave, from just everything is beyond words.
Only thing bad is now I know how big my collection could grow, and I want it to grow. At a reasonable pace.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But I think we could call it Trundle Manor. Been there, done that. Remember, folks, safe travels.
Good eats.
And live life. And look, this UFO didn't land. It crashed land. This place is incredible. Like, walking up. Crashed UFO. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Incredible.